burgers with the boys.
Is that what this is?
Oh shit! I have so much pasta salad on my lap right now.
So it's
Not in a
pasta
bowl.
salad with the boys tonight.
Pasta salad in the lap.
I do like pasta salad. That's okay.
That one had a chair fall on.
Okay.
That's how we're starting this off. Good start.
Okay, look. I'm the only one that actually shows up with dinner because mainly I work all day. So this is the only time I get to eat. So today's meal for me, at least, is pasta salad. And prior to hitting record, I just spilt it all over my lap and chair.
That's always
okay.
Time.
We're still going to eat it. We
have to.
Are talking about Falcon and the Winter Soldier / Captain America and the Winter Soldier as the end cut scene.
We're just going to spoil it right out the gate.
Okay.
Yes,
to be fair, if you have not listened yet, if you didn't hear what Matt said, if you did, forget it, first off. But if you haven't seen the show and you love Marvel, do not watch this episode. Do not listen to this episode until you watch the season finale.
Yes. Steve Rogers shows up. That's why it's called Captain America and the Winter Soldier.
Okay.
Oh.
Okay. Just don't watch it if you don't like spoilers. Come back, re-listen to it, rewatch it after you see the show. You've been warned plenty of times. We're going to talk about the show now.
Overall, thoughts out of 10. What out of 10? 10 being the best. If you want to.
Also, I broke out the Tony Stark glasses for tonight simply because
I see that has nothing to do with this particular show.
Edith.
Are you? No, I'm just kidding. Tony Stark shows up.
Tony Stark.
I'm waiting for Marvel to pull that bullshit.
You know it's coming.
You know, yeah.
Over under 3 years.
Under. Wait, are we talking Tony Stark like flesh and blood Robert Downey Jr.? Or are we talking like AI or
like flesh and blood Tony Stark? Not in a flashback.
So like he comes walking into the room.
Both. It's like I can give you both a major spoiler.
Yeah, I know.
From a movie that I know is coming up, that I know is going to happen on account of the fact that I read all the leaks and the scripts and shit like that.
Yeah. You're the scum of the earth.
If it's the movie that I think we're talking about, we're talking about not like movies that take place before Endgame. So we're talking about Marvel projects, not that don't happen before Endgame, because I think I know which one you're talking about. I don't want to say it just in case people may not have read this.
We're on the same wavelength. Wavelength, yes.
Okay. Yes. So we're over under 3 years for Tony Stark, flesh and blood, come walking into a room in a movie that's post Endgame, right?
Over. It's going to be over.
I'll say over because I'm pretty sure that they have at least the next 3 years planned out.
Yeah.
Well, they have so long planned out. The multiverse is gonna. I hate the fact Marvel's doing it. Multiverse shit is such a cop out. It's so annoying, but like it makes everything so much more complicated, and there's zero risk to anything. But like, it'll be over. It'll be over for sure. Because like 10 years from now, when the multiverse in the MCU is like, you know. It's like Iron Man. Like, it's normal. You expect to see it. You expect it to pop up. They're going to have it where, like, you know, now we're in a reality where, you know, Iron Man, you know, Tony Stark didn't die, and now he's old and retired, and, like,
Robert
Iron
Downey
Lad's
Jr. at 60-something years old.
Yeah, exactly. And they'll bring him back for, like, a cameo, just as I'm sure they will other people. But that's what'll happen. He won't be an actual anything but an extra character from now on, but he will show up again. I agree. I guarantee it.
Yeah.
Anyways, Falcon and the Winter Soldier.
Right.
Benji, thoughts out of 10. What would you rate it overall? I haven't even thought about this, but
overall, the series as a whole, for me, I'm gonna give it a 7.1. I'm gonna give Falcon and the Winter Soldier a 7.1 overall. You know, they had me going great in that first episode. You know, Sam gives up the shield. Like, we picked it up right after Endgame. Like, we see, like, how the show's progressing. We got to see Rhodey, which was awesome. I think getting to see Rhodey and Sam Wilson both of whom we presumed would be the next Iron Man and the next Captain America at the time, just based on where things were going. You know, Rhodey has the only other Iron Man suit that we know of, and Sam Wilson's got the shield, which I thought that was really cool. And just to see where it went from there were a few times during the show I'm like, what the hell is going on? Like, I don't even know what to expect. They did wrap it up very well. I loved seeing Sam get the comic book suit. I thought that was sick. The fact that he had the wings too, I loved that they were able to combine that. I would have loved something that we didn't see, but they hinted at in that second last episode when he told Torres keep them with the old wings. I would have loved to have seen Torres join that last fight as Falcon, because he does take on that mantle. But overall, as a series, I like that it set up some future, just like WandaVision did. Maybe not as blatantly obvious, but I do like where it's going.
Well, it's setting up for Captain America 4.
Right, which is confirmed. They did come out and confirm that.
Which is something I am actually super excited that Marvel's doing. Not that they're doing they're doing Captain America 4. Not a new Captain America series. They're Captain America 4. They're continuing the story of Captain America as if it was, you know, Chris Evans is like, they're just letting him go for it. The suit is immaculate. The suit is everything I wanted it to be.
That was my
they
favorite
ripped
part of the
it
whole
right
series.
off the page of a comic book. It was easily, it's delicious. It's just the coolest thing. I love the suit. The wings, like you said, they painted them beautiful. My personal onion. Did you want to go, Brandon, or do you want me? Can I just roll off?
No, you were going, so keep going.
Yeah, go for it.
I agree. I'm going somewhere between a 7 and an 8 because it's a Marvel show. Right. What's the dude's name? Dude that plays Happy. He writes all this shit.
John Favreau.
John Favreau.
Favreau. Thank you.
Yep.
He said that he doesn't want to make the Marvel shows like nothing major is going to happen in the Marvel shows because he doesn't want people that can't afford Disney Plus to be lost in the universe. He wants so if you just watch the movies, you're not missing anything important. So all the shows, in my opinion, they're not going to go past a 7 or an 8. That's just for the sake of nothing crazy is going to happen in them. It's life-altering, but I thought it was cool. I thought the moment where they ripped off Bucky's arm, and then Bucky gets this look on his face like no one ever really trusted me.
Mrs. Nesbitt.
Perfect.
That meme, dude.
It was just funny because like it was one of those moments where like they rip off the arm and like they're like, did you know it could come off? And he kind of gets this look on his face that like even the people in Wakanda, like even the Wakandans, they didn't trust him.
Right.
They like no one trusted him, no one had faith in him. And when they rip off his arm and he gets that sad look on his face, that realization, that was a pretty good moment for me. I really enjoyed it.
I mean, to be fair, you can't really blame the people of Wakanda after the events that transpired in Civil War with King T'Chaka. You can't really blame them. So I get it.
No, it's not wrong.
I mean, I know he's an Avenger now, but like I would still have a little slight toward him.
Yeah. I mean, I would be like, this dude's been Russianed like 3 times?
Right. Yeah. Something like
that. Oh, that was
probably
another
more
point.
Than that.
No, but that was another awesome point with Bucky when he realized that the code phrases didn't work on him anymore.
That was powerful, dude.
Yeah. And when they did it, and when like he said it, and like he's expecting to freak out and he doesn't, it was just kind of that moment of like,
oh my god, he didn't.
Oh my god, he did. Like, or he didn't. Oh my god, he didn't.
Yeah.
It was just that cool moment of, you know, it was a complete 180 of the scenes because you had the realization that no one ever trusted him. And then now they have a reason, like it doesn't matter. And then the last episode when he's walking past the officers and they go, Sergeant Barnes. And you just kind of, you get that little respect. And they're like, oh, he finally is getting what he deserves. Like
that was his military rank too.
Yeah, like
that was
he fought in the war. He was brainwashed. He like did all this shit, and then he finally is like seen as that war hero, that sergeant that he was.
He's an Avenger now.
Yeah. It was at that moment that he kind of unofficially stepped from like, shady sidekick
Vigilante,
character to I'm an Avenger, like I'm a good guy. This is my life now, which is kind of I thought was a very, very cool thing.
Right.
Yeah.
Oh, and then Bucky honestly was one of the best characters
Yes, he
Oh,
was.
yeah, totally.
in terms of development, and then just I don't know. I like how he bitched out Sam for just giving away the shield.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So my overall thoughts on the show, I thought it was pretty good. I'd probably give it like a 6.5 out of 10. I
Okay.
think I liked WandaVision a little bit better.
I did too.
Just the week to week with WandaVision, I felt like worked a lot better, and I felt like this was
Progressively
more.
got better.
Yeah, I felt like
Mhm.
this was more of like it would benefit more on just a straight watch through because I felt like it was just a long movie type deal.
Yeah.
The villains were kind of inconsistent because I wasn't quite sure. Okay, so these are terrorists, but they're actually not bad, but then they are really bad, and then they die. And then you have the other Captain America, the John Walker guy, where you're like, oh, he's gonna probably be the villain, and then he's like, oh, he's kind of relatable, but then he's all of a sudden like horrible, and you're like, oh, and then he kind of redeems himself, and then kind of does, and then
Yeah.
I don't. It was like kind of oddly inconsistent in that, but because I'm sure that John Walker will be back in Cap 4, like that's probably bound to happen.
So
Um,
U.S. Agent in the comics is a pretty neat character, and they did him pretty well. What's that actor's name?
Wyatt
I
Russell.
couldn't tell you. Oh, there you go.
Because he played the hell out of that character.
I would
Yeah.
just like to go on record and say the early hate for Wyatt Russell was
That's
totally
his name.
uncalled for. It was totally uncalled for because
Yeah.
if you knew where the show was more than likely going, like we all knew that either Sam or Bucky, it was probably always going to be Sam, was going to be Captain America by the end of the show. Like John Walker was not going to be Captain America at the end of the show, and everybody just hated on him way too early. It got a little unnecessary. I do get where people were coming from because Steve Rogers and Chris Evans were such a beloved part of this universe for so long, but it was uncalled for.
Dude,
Right.
it's people like that. Like, first of all, Wyatt Russell, he said he loved it. I don't know if you read that quote or not,
Mm-hmm.
because he said it's an honor to be disliked. He
Yeah.
said when you can act, well, other people have said that, when you can act so well that people hate you in real life because you played a character that they hate in the show, that is how you know. And they compared it to some people from Game of Thrones and some other shows, but like that's how you know you've really done a good job. And he did a phenomenal job as
Yes,
the
he did.
character. I think that it was a testament to his ability. It was a testament to mainly, it was just his ability to act, and I think he did a great job.
Mm-hmm.
And though he said he loved it, he said he loved the hate because he was like, I must be doing a good job if they hate me already. And people are stupid as shit. Like, I don't care if you don't read comics, if you've never seen a movie. If you're gonna watch this show, the show is called Falcon and the Winter Soldier. If you expect one of those two to not be Captain America, then you're an idiot.
Yeah.
You're dumb, and you don't deserve to have eyes.
That's
Or
true.
Disney Plus.
But you clearly don't use them for anything, like reading titles.
So I think the best part about the show, now that I'm kind of done like ripping on it, I think the best part by far was Baron Zemo as like the anti-hero that I think in Civil War he was a very good villain. I would say probably above average for Marvel's standards of villains because they don't really have a great repertoire of villains. But I think this show, I mean, just look at those dance moves, man. Like those are impressive.
Right.
And
Speaking to Baron Helmet Zemo, though, like it's very interesting that you bring this up because it's really his objective here has not changed. Like
Mhm.
in Civil War, he was trying to get rid of super soldiers because of what
Yep.
took place in Age of Ultron. Like it has not changed. The perspective's changed because his mission is still the same thing in Falcon and the Winter Soldier as it was in Civil War. It's just that now he's helping Bucky and Sam in order to further his goal, I guess you could say.
Well, which I thought super cool because, obviously in Civil War, we have him as this villain who hates the Avengers. The Avengers ripped his family away. The Avengers are the ones that need to pay. But it was through that hatred of the Avengers, he realized it's not just the Avengers. It's anybody with powers, anybody that's considered a super soldier.
Yep.
And so similar to what you said, actually exactly what you said,
Mm-hmm.
he's not good or evil. He's not fighting for one particular side, at least in this universe. He's fighting to get rid of superheroes.
Right.
And he's going to fight with his best bet, which at
Mhm.
that point in time was Falcon and Bucky. If I could rip real fast, if I could shit on Warner Brothers
Go for it.
for a second. So you have the Snyder Cut, which I don't know if you've seen it. It was great. But you have the Snyder Cut that the fans had to petition, beg, like major stars and celebrities had to beg Warner Brothers to release it. They wouldn't. So HBO Max was like, we'll release it. And Warner Brothers was like, whatever, what the hell. Majorly successful. Snyder says he has all these other movies he wants to make. All the same people say, make those movies. It's going to make your universe so much better. They say no, right? They say absolutely not. Here's where Marvel, this is all looping around, I promise. Here's where Marvel does things right. Baron Zemo danced for like 2 minutes on screen. The fans went crazy making memes and they thought it was funny. A couple of them were like, you should release a feature-length film of just him dancing. And they released a 4-hour cut of him dancing. Because people asked for it. Now, granted, you can't give the fans everything you want, but when it's stupid shit that you know is going to make you some kind of money, make you successful, and make your fans happy, like, that's where they do it right. And I thought it was so funny.
Yeah, that dancing clip's like one of the funniest things ever. Yeah, it's an hour-long video on YouTube and has 6.1 million
Just
views
him
on it.
dancing.
Yeah, it's
That's amazing.
it's
We're
kind
gonna
of
find
looped.
that and post it to our page.
Yeah, it's on YouTube. It's right there.
Well, I mean, obviously,
I'll find
it's
it
going to
and
be
post it to the
looped.
page.
They didn't film an hour of him getting down and just doing it.
No, but it's still funny.
Something I did like about this show, and if I botch this pronunciation, I'm very sorry. The Dora Milaje, I think that's how you pronounce it.
Sure.
I love that they showed up in this show.
Mm-hmm.
I was not expecting that. Like, I know it's because they have the ties to Bucky and the whole White Wolf, how they helped him get rid of the Winter Soldier brainwashing. But they took on an even bigger role than even if you told me they were going to be in it than I thought. Obviously, returning Zemo to the raft, that's pretty big. But to see that they're relevant still.
That's awesome.
After everything that's happened, obviously, rest in peace, Chadwick Boseman. You can't replace him. You really can't. Not in this universe. And I'm glad Marvel's come out and said that they're not going to.
Mm-hmm.
It's good to see that they're not completely writing this off. Like, they're not writing the characters from Black Panther out of the overall MCU story. It was cool. I think that actually might have been one of my favorite moments from this entire show was when they show up to take Zemo. And John Walker's like, don't worry, I'm Captain America. And he like puts his hand on him and they start beating the shit out of him. And Bucky's Sam's like, we should do something. And Bucky's like, looking strong there, John, as he's getting his ass whooped. And this was before he took the super soldier serum, so it was hilarious.
Yeah, that was one of the best moments of the show. He's like, we should probably do something about this. Like, and then he got his arm dismantled.
Yeah, that was before the meme.
Yeah, before the meme. But yeah, I like the Dora Mamu or whatever they're called.
Dora Milaje, something like that. I'm so sorry. I'm gonna learn how to pronounce it better. I promise.
Yeah, you probably should. But yeah, I like that they're bringing Wakanda in, even though Chadwick is no longer with us, which is sad.
It really is.
But I mean, Wakanda is still a huge part of the series now, more than ever. I mean, the Infinity War battle was there. They have so many characters besides Black Panther that we still need to explore. After, like, I'm gonna guess that they're gonna write off Black Panther in the way that he like passed away somehow. I have no idea, but that's just my thought on it. And it would be
They'll
nice
get
to
it
get
right.
the character. Yeah, I know they'll do a good job. I know that the other characters in the Black Panther series are very compelling, and I'm kind of intrigued what they're gonna do with all that.
What
In all honesty,
what I'm excited about is so have you guys heard of the Thunderbolts?
I have heard of it.
Yes, I was actually going to bring this up later, so I'm glad you're bringing it up.
Pretty much Marvel. It's pretty much Marvel's Suicide Squad to an extent.
Mm.
And by putting Zemo on the raft, they're definitely starting the making of the Thunderbolts. It's like they're Thunderbolts, like they're like the MCU's Sinister Six. I know Sinister Six is already Marvel, but like this universe is like Sinister Six. It's going to be super cool. Like it's basically just a villain team and run by
Madam
what's his
Hydra.
name?
Or no, Secretary of State Ross.
Thank
Thaddeus
you.
Ross.
Yes, who is also. I'm waiting for him to Hulk out, dude. But they'll never do that.
He's rumored to be in the She-Hulk show.
Well, it's because he's Red Hulk, or
right?
Yeah, he's Red Hulk. So I don't know how much you know about the Red Hulk. The Red Hulk is Ross was also exposed to gamma radiation to a T, but it's like dormant in his system.
Right.
He is stronger than the Hulk, so much so that his anger alone can like when he like squeezes a bar, like he can like melt it. Like it's the weirdest shit in the world. But the Red Hulk is super fucking cool.
Yeah.
I don't think they'll ever do it. They'll do the Thunderbolts before they do. But I don't know. I'm excited. Point is, I'm excited. It's gonna be great.
No, it is.
Who would
cool
be in the Thunderbolts?
I think right now we can account for a few characters right now. Obviously Zemo. He's chilling at the raft. You've got John Walker, U.S. agent. Abomination is still around somewhere.
Technically, you're right. He is. Oh, wait. Did Hulk kill him in that movie though?
No, because if I don't know if we're gonna. I don't know if the show is canon or not. If they're gonna steal this from this show, the Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. show, I know it's not canon with the universe, but they could. I guess there was like a line in there how they hinted at Abomination was chilling in some S.H.I.E.L.D. base. I don't know where, but I know they said it.
Yeah, he didn't die in the Hulk movie. He was like just defeated, and he's like, that movie's terrible. But anyways, so you got those two. You know, and I don't know anything about the Thunderbolts comic.
I don't usually either.
Is Deadpool in those or no?
No, Deadpool's not part of it. Deadpool's technically whatever he the hell wants to be involved in the universe, but no, traditionally, like he's not a part of like the Suicide Squad, the Thunderbolts, the X-Men. He's kind of shows up wherever he shows up, but he's not a part. Like they wouldn't do that.
They could. That'd be kind of fun.
I know they could. They won't.
Fair enough. Yeah. So
I'm trying to think of who else is in that show.
Who else could be? Like most of the Marvel villains, they're like one and done. They die.
They'll work up to it if they are going to do the Thunderbolt, or they'll introduce people when they decide to do the Thunderbolts. Like, oh, these were off-screen incidents, then arrests. These people are in the raft. Here you go. Like
that's true. That's true. What about Adam Warlock? Is he like an anti-villain or anti-hero?
Technically, he's not.
But he's kind of like, that's totally different planet, universe. Not universe.
Well, I mean, I would have to look up who's like the base team of the Thunderbolts. I don't really remember. It's in a while.
I should bring Thor into the Thunderbolts because he's the god of thunder. That would only make sense.
So are you saying that because he can control thunder?
Yeah, because
Okay,
Thunderbolt.
so
Boom.
I know. Oh my gosh, I cannot say this actress's name. So I know that there's actually 2 members of the Thunderbolts that are supposed to be in the Black Widow movie that's coming up.
Oh.
Florence Pugh, that's the name of the character. Yelena Belova, I'm pretty sure she is going to end up taking on the Black Widow mantle in that movie. If it's who the character I think she is, I believe she's going to be a part of that team. And also Taskmaster is supposed to be part of that team as well.
Oh, interesting.
So that's 2 more members right there. And just kind of like going off since we're talking about that movie. This Val character, I don't know her whole name. She has this really long name, but it's the actress who was in Seinfeld. You know who I'm talking about?
Yes.
What's her name?
Julia Louis-Dreyfus.
Yes, her name Val. I'm just gonna call her Val because that's like the shortened version. Her character is reportedly played Madam Hydra numerous times in like the comics. And what makes this very interesting is she's also put together like anti-hero teams, kind of like Suicide Squad. And I was thinking about this after I watched the show today. Right now, at this current point in the Marvel Cinematic Universe, there is no established Avengers team. Tony Stark is dead.
It's true.
Steve Rogers is missing because I'm pretty sure it hasn't been linked that he went back in time, because why would we tell people that Tony Stark created time travel? Thor's missing because he's off with the Guardians. Bruce Banner, he's Professor Hulk. Like, he ain't doing anything. His arm is fried. Clint Barton, retired. Natasha Romanoff, missing, aka dead. And even Nick Fury, like, the whole world still thinks he's dead. Going all the way back to Cap 2, Winter Soldier.
Yeah.
We leave it, he's dead technically.
Yeah.
He goes out into space to do Galactic Sword because the Nick Fury that's in Far From Home is a Skrull.
Yep.
I'm pretty sure he lays low. So you have no established Avengers team. Yes, you have all these heroes that can be part of the next Avengers team, but they're not a team.
Mm-hmm.
And there's Nick Fury. So Madam Hydra, she's putting together really the only established team with now John Walker starting off.
Is Nick Fury considered dead though? Because when he gets snapped away, he's in the middle of the street in New York.
Yeah, it's kind of fuzzy with that.
If he was trying to stay dead, he wouldn't be in a car in the middle. Like, he wouldn't have done that.
Yeah, details.
I don't know what his status is. I just know that, yeah, technically speaking, after Civil War, there has not been an official Avengers team since Civil War. Right. I mean, you could suggest that Infinity War and Endgame, there technically was, and it was being headed by Black Widow, but that wasn't an official Avengers team. So,
right.
Or wasn't officially known as the Avengers, so it wasn't like whatever.
And then Cap assembled them, and it was an awesome moment.
That was, I remember. Did I punch your shoulder when we just did?
You definitely did.
Yeah, I remember. I do remember getting really excited. I hate with a capital hate seeing movies, no matter how big or small, on opening night, because it's so. And I told you this, Brandon. It is so goddamn annoying when there is a pivotal moment. Cap wielding the hammer, him finally saying the stupid word "assemble," like all of that stuff.
Yeah,
it's great, but then everyone claps and cheers, and then you can't hear the next 2 minutes of what's happening because everyone won't shut the hell up, and it's annoying. But what I will say is our theater was relatively quiet.
Yeah, I was gonna say, I think most people that went to our show didn't like it just as much as we did, but then they cheered during the Cap wielding meal. You cheered and you hated it.
But it was literally like the hammer was picked up, nobody talked, everyone was just kind of like, what? Who has it? Even though like everyone kind of knew.
Yeah.
And then when it like flew back in Cap's hand,
Yeah,
people
everyone
were
freaked out.
like I remember even I clapped. I went like, holy fuck, and I even clapped. But then literally, as quick as they did it, they stopped.
Yeah.
That was fine. But dude, I've seen videos on the internet of, audience's first reaction to this, and they literally cheer through like that entire
I can't watch
fight.
those.
And it's so frustrating. And I remember telling you, Brandon, how unexcited I was to see that movie opening night with you because of that reason.
I remember that, but I'm like, have some faith. And I think because our theater was a little smaller size because they had I don't remember, it wasn't super small, but it was small enough where there wasn't as many people there.
Yeah, it was like, I would describe it as like a small town theater. Like it wasn't like a rinky dink place, but it wasn't huge. Like you weren't going to like a huge ass thing. We also got food that unrelated to the movies at all. It was the best movie theater. Every seat was a recliner.
Yep. It was the one in Margaritaville, Ben. Do you remember
Studio
that?
Movie Grill. Yep.
Studio Movie Grill.
Right
Yeah,
down the road
dude,
from
it was
Not
great.
sponsored, but they could be.
Every single one was a recliner with it was a leather recliner, and then you pressed a button and some dude was like, "You want a burger?" And I'm like, "Yeah, fuck yeah, dude, give me
You
my
want
shit."
a burger? Eat a burger.
So I'm sitting there like eating fries and shit, watching this movie. It was pretty great.
That's
Yeah.
amazing.
I will say when I watched Endgame for the second time, total 180. You couldn't hear a damn thing. People were cheering. I'm like, dude, it's Saturday. Like, this is probably the second time most people are seeing this damn movie.
Yeah.
I don't know. I was annoyed at that time, but the last time I saw it, I was with Cole at Disney Springs, and they also had food there. And that was relatively quiet, but that was like almost a month after it was released.
Yeah.
Well, people did that for me when I was seeing Star Wars. Like certain things would happen, and like they cheered, and I'm like, you guys need to shut the hell up. I've waited so long. Be quiet. I told some lady in front of me to shut up.
Doesn't surprise me.
And how do you? I don't
Boogity
remember
boogity.
Boogity boogity.
Dude, I was
That
gonna put her in the
episode's been
boo-boo
released
box.
yet, so we're like saying inside jokes that haven't been public yet. Oh god.
I was gonna put her in the boo-boo box, bro. She I don't remember. It was I don't know. It was Force Awakens and like R2D2 or some shit. And this lady's like, "Oh my god, it's R2, Michael! Look, it's R2." And I remember leaning forward and going, I don't know if his name was Mike. I'm just using that as an example. But I went, "Hey, Mike, you want to look at the goddamn screen so you can see R2 so you can shut the hell up?" My brother, who I was with, who is way worse than I am when it comes to this type of shit, looked at me and was like, "Dude, what the fuck?" He's like, "Be quiet." I'm like, "Oh, look, I'm sorry, okay?"
Were you the guy that was like, turn your flash off, you fucking moron?
Dude, I am that guy. I wish I was that guy.
I wish I was that guy too.
No, but it was the same thing, like title screen.
Yeah.
Yep.
I mean, title screen's fine. You're not missing any dialogue.
No,
It's fine.
no.
I get it.
And like I even cheat. Like if you want to cheer when Star Wars pops up on screen, go right ahead. If you want to take a Snapchat, dude, I'm right there with you. But like obviously turn your flash off.
Fucking moron.
Like, when it comes to the actual movie, freak out internally.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I'm
that's
turning this into my date. I'm turning this into my daily dump once weekly. If you cheer during a movie, screw it. You are a terrible human being. You deserve nothing but stubbed toes and snag shirts on door handles for the rest of your life.
We should interview somebody that's like a prominent movie cheerer and ask them. Ma'am, why? Why do you cheer? Why?
I'm pretty sure technically that's trademarked. We can't use that.
Yeah, it was.
That's why I didn't play the whole thing.
Yeah, you don't. But anyways, yeah,
we don't own the rights to the Star Wars music. That is all credit to John Williams.
I'm gonna do I'm gonna do an episode in my movie accurate Darth Vader helmet one time, and we're just gonna do that. I'm
We
sitting
won't even
at the
comment on
moment-
it.
No.
We'll just
This is one of my most prized possessions.
Yeah.
ooh.
It's my.
Is it in a
it-
glass
it-
case?
It is in a glass case. It's Darth.
I
It's
couldn't tell if it
Darth
was
Va-
plastic or glass.
That's amazing.
No, it's a glass case. For those of you that can't see, it's Darth Vader's TIE Fighter in a nice glass case with a surrounding that looks like a Imperial hanger, and it's the best thing I own. One of the best things I own. I have a Darth Maul Legacy lightsaber. That's pretty fun, too.
Since Matt brought up the daily dump, I think that's a great time to address that. So you're dumping on people that cheer too often.
I'm
inside
dumping on
movie theaters.
anyone that claps or cheers on the premiere of a movie. Shut up.
Okay.
Let me enjoy it.
I'm gonna take my crack at it now.
for it.
My daily dump is for professors that assign papers that only care about page length.
Ooh.
I don't know where you learned that quantity is more important than quality. Like I had to write a paper for this one class, and it easily should have been a 7 to 8 page paper. Like I hit all my points, and I literally had to BS parts of it just to get 2 more pages out of it. Like I felt like I was rereading. I'm like, this is absolute crap. Like the parts that I had to add, I'm like, this is stupid. It's fluff. I was gonna be a teacher. I hate fluff. Just get to the point. Give me your points. Give me your argument. Give me your thesis at the beginning. Give me a good conclusion. That's it. I don't even care if it's 3 pages. But I hate fluff. I hate extra details, especially in academic writing. So daily dump on professors that assign multiple. If you're requiring double-digit pages for something that could easily be done in way less, you're only doing yourself a further disservice because you have to grade it. So
Life hack I learned, Ben,
okay.
on that. Next time you do your paper,
Okay.
write everything that you need to write.
Mhm.
Then go search and replace, and then type period, and then change the font from whatever it is to like I don't know, probably 12-point font that you're normally at.
Yeah.
Just change the period to like 14 or 16. Periods, they don't look different on the paper, but they add quite a bit to it.
That's
it
a great
probably
life
would
hack.
add, like, if you're writing 6 to 7 pages, it might add like a whole page.
Okay.
It could, just because of how many periods you use, and it would just space out the words just enough.
That's a great life hack.
I've done that before. It's a good one. It's
Okay.
very. I think I've done that a few times when I'm
I
writing.
just write the
papers.
paper.
You know what, Matthew? We don't care
I mean,
about
that's
your
what I did today.
overachievness. I don't care.
Technically,
don't
it's not
care.
overachieving. It's actually just achieving.
Okay,
because
Brando.
I'm doing it.
Who you got? Who are you dumping on this week?
Man, we talk about movie cheering, and Matthew kind of took that from me, but that's okay. Let's talk about people that spoil shit. Okay.
Oh, yes. And it's not us because we put out plenty of warnings before the show, so we're not spoilers. This isn't hypocrisy right here.
I understand you want to talk about something, but make sure that whoever you're talking, even online, you're just going to post something like, thank God that I stayed up. I think I stayed up to watch Falcon and Winter Soldier because I saw people posting about it, and like that would be a direct spoiler. And I'm the exact opposite of Matthew here. Matthew doesn't care about spoilers. He doesn't care if he knows everything. I, on the other hand, I go like the exact opposite, where I sometimes don't watch the trailers of the movies that I know I'm going to see
No, he does
because
not.
It's very
Brandon
true.
goes full Osama bin Laden. He hides in a cave. He doesn't talk to anybody until eventually SEAL Team 6 comes and shoots him in the face.
Okay, this will be another
That's
part
graphic.
of my daily dump then. Okay, so what is the point of a movie trailer? Matthew, this isn't a trick question. What is the point of a movie trailer?
It is to show you the bare minimum of what the movie is supposed to be about so you can get excited and go see.
Correct. So if I'm already excited and I'm already hooked, I'm going to buy a ticket to go see Avengers Endgame. why do I need to look at footage before? If you've ever gone into a movie completely dark and not knowing anything about it, not seeing any footage, it is so much more fulfilling and enjoyable, I swear to you. And I
You and
get
I
it.
did that with Shazam.
We did, didn't we?
Mm-hmm.
And
Because
did you
I
enjoy the
loved
movie
Shazam.
more?
I did. You know what?
Yeah.
Because I love Shazam as a hero, like Black Adam and everything, and I love it. And I had a hunch, you know, they weren't going to do Black Adam, but you had told me, you know, like don't do the trailer thing. And I was like, you know what? Screw it. For you, I won't do the trailer thing. And honest to God, watching Shazam, having no idea, recognizing no scenes, having no clue what the next word is going to be, it was a lot more enjoyable. It was a lot more fun to sit there and like legitimately have a totally no idea what's going to happen next.
And I think the way I got this started, and this is going to totally not turn into a daily dump, but it was with the movie John Wick. I only heard good reviews on, like, I only saw that it was a movie starring Keanu Reeves and it's an action movie and it's really good. So I'm like, okay, I'm going to go in blind. I don't know anything about it. And I loved it. And I'm like, dang, I should do this more often. And I did it with Star Wars, The Last Jedi. I did it with Avengers Endgame. I did it with a bunch of movies. Some movies I can't avoid it. And I just accidentally, I'm like, all right, whatever. I'm just going to see it. It is what it is. But I've done it with so many other movies that it's hard to keep track, but I know I enjoy them more because trailers, they give you this preconceived notion of what the movie is going to be. And then sometimes you might be disappointed by something that you're like, oh, that was all that was there, but that was in the trailer. Or like if a character dies, like beginning of the movie, you're like, well, wait, I saw them in the trailer wearing this outfit at this time. So they're going to be back somehow. It puts that in the back of my mind. That's not in everyone else's mind, but that's just a weird way I have of thinking. So I'm going to daily dump on myself for overthinking movies. So there we go.
I slightly disagree with you on the spoil. I agree. Like if it's a fresh, don't talk about it. Or at least if we're going to talk, it'd be survey the room. Like, hey, you guys cool if I, you know, whatever. There's a time limit. You get if it's a theatrical release, you get a 2-week time span. If by 2 weeks this happened to Brandon and I. We were talking about Endgame, and there was somebody who hadn't seen it, but it was like at that point 2.5 weeks in. If you have not seen it by 2 weeks, you do not deserve it. I don't care if you don't want to hear. You may escort yourself away. I'm not going to follow you and purposely spoil it, but I'm not going to not have my conversation. You had 2 weeks to see it. You had half of a month. I am not going to not talk about it because you have not wanted to pay the money to go see it. That is your own fault. You can die.
I will counter. I also strongly dislike people that after it's been like, oh, don't talk about Breaking Bad. I haven't seen it yet. It's like, that show's been out for 10 years.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, no. Like
yeah. So
that's not a counter. That would be an agreement.
It's an agreement, but you're saying that you disagree. But I also should add that this is also part of the daily dump where I'm like, I don't like also the same people that say, oh, don't spoil Harry Potter for me. It's like, but that's been out forever. Yeah. And so I get it.
No, that's fair.
But whatever. Matthew, do you have a question that must be answered today?
It's time.
Oh, you mean a QTMBA? I do have a QTMBA.
We love
it's a QTMBA. That would be a question that must be answered, and I have it. Are you both mayonnaise eaters?
Yes.
Do you enjoy mayonnaise on a sandwich? Okay.
Yes, I am a prevalent mayonnaise eater.
I as well.
Okay, I am too. I would consider myself on most sandwiches. I like a nice little slab of mayonnaise, but there's a point where mayonnaise becomes too much. There's a point where you just can't imagine like a spoonful of mayonnaise raw, right? No one wants that. So here's the QTMBA. You have a large jar of Hellman's mayonnaise.
It's a good brand.
I literally just got the chills.
You have 1 spoon. You have 2 options, though. You may either choose to eat the entire jar of mayonnaise in one sitting, spoonful at a time. When it's gone, you're done. Or you must take a spoonful of mayonnaise every hour until that means like you got to go to bed. You can have 60 minutes, wake up, spoonful of mayonnaise, go back to bed every hour until that jar is empty. So you have to eat the whole jar outright, or you can have one spoonful every hour. What are you going with? Both are equally, you're eating the same amount of mayonnaise, but it's a matter of, is it all at once? Is that worse?
I would like to answer the question.
Go ahead, please.
Go for it.
I am eating a spoonful every hour. Because if I eat the whole thing in one sitting, I will throw up. At least I have a whole hour to like get the taste out of my mouth.
True,
Or at least try to. But I will throw up.
But that means every single hour in the back of your head, all you're thinking about is
it's worth it to me.
I have to eat. And like you're gonna get sick. It's gonna be like a hangover. You're just gonna constantly feel sick.
It's still worth it.
That's how I look at it. And I will answer this one. I think I'd eat it outright. Because in my personal opinion, eating it all at once would be terrible. But once it's over, it's over.
That's fair.
Whereas it would take.
Are we talking like a big gallon like this? Like that big?
I don't know.
Or like the tub.
I'm talking like a large sized one. Like not like your normal, not like your normal tiny jar. The same screw top jar, but like a little bigger, a little wider. I'm not sure the dimensions of a mayonnaise jar.
Yeah,
but like a large container of mayonnaise.
I think I'd do the every hour too. Like, okay, you're probably gonna get done with that within 48 hours. Like that's probably 48 spoonfuls.
Yeah, in my head, I figure about 2.5 days for a full jar, one spoonful every hour. I figure about 2.5 days.
Yeah, and okay, you really think you're gonna be able to scarf that down without?
Oh yeah,
puking? I would throw up.
No, you're gonna throw up.
No.
The odds of me throwing up doing it every hour are significantly lower than if I do it all in one sitting.
I pride myself. Here's my thing. It's gross. There's no getting around that it's gross. Yeah. I pride myself in being able to eat disgusting things. Like put whatever you want in a blender, make a horrible milkshake, plug the nose, down the hatch. That's exactly what I would do with the mayonnaise. I would look at it. I would look at my spoon. I'd look at the mayonnaise, unscrew the top. I would look up and just literally shovel it in, big gulp, maybe give one of these, and then it's over. It would be that easy, as opposed to in my head, it's kind of like when you wake up and you know you have to go to work in like 3 hours.
Yep.
And every time you look at the clock, you're just going, oh, I got to go to work in an hour or 2 hours. And then,
that makes sense. I see it.
Hour and a half, I got to go to work. And just every second you look at the clock, you dread it a little more. Every second you look at that clock, that is 1 more minute closer to a spoonful of mayonnaise. And it's not a day. You're talking 2.5 days of waking up at 3 a.m. going, oh, mayonnaise.
Oh, boy, 3 a.m.
Oh, boy, 3 a.m. Like, okay, yeah. From like a 9 to 5 mayonnaise schedule, I'd probably side with you. But to wake up at 1 a.m., 2 a.m., 3 a.m., be exhausted. By day 2, you're exhausted, and you have to wake up at 3 a.m. and chug down a spoonful of mayonnaise. You're telling me that's going to be easier?
No, this is not easy. None of this is easy.
I think you are so mistaken. I think you are both
all I'm picturing is Ben at SeaWorld feeding the dolphins or whatever, and then there's this jar of mayo just sitting there, and they're like, oh, what's the jar of mayo doing for the animals? And then the clock beeps, it's for me. Just look at you and just go, ugh. And then they just
his wristwatch just goes beep 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 beep. Mayonnaise.
Plug the nose.
Oh, that was...
Dude,
okay.
I feel like that would be like an Impractical Joker's punishment.
Yes, it would. Ooh,
God,
like every hour, eat some mayonnaise. I should
do a
email
practical
them.
Joker's punishments.
Yeah, we should. Well, I guess that's the QTMBA.
Yeah.
We debated mayonnaise, whether it's better to eat it all at one time or over the course of 2.5 days every hour.
That's the
Both
answer.
disgusting.
We talked a
and
lot.
I love mayo.
Yes, yeah. We talked a lot about Falcon and the Winter Soldier. Overall, great show. Not our favorite. Definitely,
Mhm.
probably consensus. WandaVision was probably better, but that's okay. We're excited for Loki. We will preview that once we get closer, just because it's not coming out till June.
Yeah.
And we had our daily dumps. It's been a great time. It really has.
Great time.
But
a really great time.
that is going to wrap it up for Burgers with Your Boys this week.
Good job.
Until next
Good
time.
job, everyone. Like, comment, share, subscribe, do whatever it is podcast
Do the whole
things
thing.
are. And always remember, burgers are better with the boys.
Always. All right.
Always.
We will catch you all next week.